Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So right now, just in, we have some new estimates for what the next increase is going to be for all beneficiaries of Social Security. We're going to be going over those numbers. Plus, some retirees have regretted taking benefits early, and now they're deciding to go ahead and pause the benefits to receive a larger check later on. We're going to be going over what they're doing. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our first story of today's video. Yesterday, we had the new numbers for inflation coming out, and they were kind of mixed. Nothing to really celebrate, nothing to be overly down on. Still not looking that great as far as inflation goes. But what we do have are the new estimates for what the next increase is going to be for all beneficiaries of Social Security. That is going to come next year in January of 2025. There have been numerous videos out there, numerous articles saying that there's going to be a $600 increase this month in June. That, of course, is not factual. The next increase, unless they pass some type of bill, is not going to come until next year in 2025. That is going to be the mandatory increase from the cost of living adjustment. That is something that happens every single year unless no inflation takes place at all. So according to the Senior Citizens League, their model points to a substantially lower COLA for next year after the 3.2% cost of living adjustment in 2023. They say that the 2025 COLA prediction is about 2.57%, which would be rounded up to 2.6%, down from 2.66% last month. That's what they said. Alex Moore, at least, who is a managing partner at Blacksmith Professional Services. They go on to say that this year's COLA will be important because many seniors said it didn't keep up with their real life expenses last year. Among the roughly 1,550 participants in TSCL's 2024 senior survey, 69% said their household costs rose faster than the COLA last year, with costs for food and housing leading the way. The fact is that COLAs have become less and less likely to keep up with inflation over time. As shown in the chart below, just one of the 5 COLAs implemented so far in the 2020s at 20% has outpaced inflation, compared to 40% in the 2010s and 60% in the 2000s and 1990s. And you can look at the chart there. The blue is where COLA beat inflation, and the red is where COLA did not beat inflation. So you can see a much larger percentage there. At least recently, the COLA is not beating inflation. So even though you are receiving an increase every single year in the form of the cost of living adjustment, inflation is actually outpacing what you're actually receiving, so you're not actually receiving any type of increase or really keeping up with inflation. And they go on to say that what's worse is when COLAs fall short, it can leave seniors thousands of dollars behind what they expected from Social Security. This is mainly because a COLA shortfall has a long-lasting cumulative effect. For example, imagine getting a $1,000 monthly Social Security check in your first year of retirement. You get a 4% COLA and inflation is 5%. So now your check is $1,040, but should be $1,050. Then the following year, the COLA and inflation are both at 5%. Your check is now at $1,092, but should be $1,102.50. An even bigger gap than the year before. Compound this across 12 checks a year over a 25 to 30 year retirement, and the numbers start adding up, quite frankly. Then they go on to say that according to the Social Security Administration, COLAs keeping up with inflation matters because Social Security is the difference between dignity and poverty for about 50% of retirees. What's more, TSCL's senior survey found that about half of retirees have dipped into emergency savings over the last year, while a third have visited a food pantry or applied for SNAP benefits, food stamps to put dinner on the table. A quarter have depleted a retirement or savings account to zero. So obviously, benefits are not keeping up with inflation. People are not able to live fully on their Social Security check, and therefore they're having to dip into their savings, their other retirement accounts, and now those savings in the other retirement accounts are running out. And for some folks, they're actually running all the way to zero, and now they're trying to get by on just their Social Security check alone. We've seen numerous articles out there showing that people are now having to return to work. They're stocking shelves at grocery stores, doing whatever they can to make ends meet, because what they're receiving for their retirement, what they're receiving for the cost of living adjustment is not keeping up with the massive amount of inflation that has been taking place over the last year. Now, if we look at the numbers here, if it does end up being 2.6% for the cost of living adjustment, what that's going to look like for people on SSI starting out right now, the max benefit for individuals is $943. If we do end up receiving a 2.6% increase, that's going to push their benefit up to $968 at the max. That is going to be a $25 increase per month. Then as far as SSI couples go, this year, $1,415 is the maximum benefit. With the 2.6% increase, that's going to push their number up to $1,452. Once again, that's going to be the maximum. As far as disabled workers, this year in 2024, the average disabled benefit is $1,537. With the increase, that would push their benefit up $40 more per month, up to $1,577 per month. And then finally, as far as retirees go, the average retiree this year is receiving $1,907 for their monthly check. With a 2.6% increase, that would push their benefit up $50 per month, up to $1,957. Now, the most important numbers and the most important months to look out for are going to be August, September, and October. That's when we're going to have the inflation numbers for July, August, and September. And then in the middle of October, that's exactly when we're going to know how much the cost of living adjustment for 2025 is going to be. So once again, there is not going to be an increase in your benefits this month in June. There is not going to be an increase next month in July. Those headlines are misleading. The next increase is not going to take place until January of 2025 for most beneficiaries. Of course, if you're on SSI, you're going to receive your January check in the latter parts of December, because New Year's is a holiday, so you just receive your check a little bit earlier. Now, of course, because of this news, because a lot of people are retiring and they're realizing that their Social Security check is not enough to get by, they're now just, beginning to just stop their benefits and go back to work entirely. So that way, whenever they start receiving Social Security once again, all over again, their benefit is a little bit higher. So we're going to be going over a way you can actually pause your benefits if that works best for you, and then taking Social Security later on and receiving a higher benefit. So we're going to be looking at this article here from the Motley Fool. They say that Social Security's secret do-over and suspension options could help retirees score a bigger benefit. So a recent survey from Nationwide Retirement Institute identified an important knowledge gap where Social Security benefits are concerned. Fewer than 30% of participants were aware that claiming decisions could be undone in certain situations. That, of course, is problematic, because retirees that regret collecting Social Security early can reverse their claim or suspend payments to earn a bigger benefit. But those options, while not designed to be secret, are undoubtedly missed opportunities for some beneficiaries, given that not many people know that they exist. So some retired workers that claim early eventually regret their decision. Fortunately, there are two ways to fix this situation. The claiming decision can sometimes be undone entirely, or payments can be suspended between full retirement age and 70. Both options ultimately result in a bigger payout for retired workers, as explained below. So as far as undoing a claiming decision, they say that retirees can withdraw or cancel their benefit application by filing a Form SSA 521 with the Social Security Administration. But there are two important caveats. Number one, benefit applications can only be withdrawn or canceled within 12 months of approval. And number 2, retirees that have started collecting benefits must repay every dollar, including Medicare premiums withheld and spousal benefits claimed against their work record. Undoing a claiming decision raises the benefit reduction incurred for collecting Social Security early. In other words, retirees that undo their claiming decision would be entitled to their PIA at full retirement age. They would also earn delayed retirement credits thereafter until age 70 that increase their future payout by 2/3 of 1% per month or 8% per year. And then the second option, of course, is to suspend benefit payments. So retirees can also suspend their benefits by notifying the Social Security Administration either orally or in writing, but only if they have reached full retirement age. Benefits will automatically be reinstated at age 70, or retirees can request that benefits be reinstated earlier by contacting the Social Security Administration. Suspending payments does not erase a benefit reduction, but it does let retirees earn delayed retirement credits that increase their payout by 2/3 of 1% per month or 8% per year. For example, a person born in 1960 or later that suspends payments at full retirement age can increase their benefit by 24% if they wait until age 70 to reinstate Social Security. In other words, if that person was receiving $1,000 per month before suspending payments, they will receive $1,240 per month or 24% more after Social Security is reinstated. But they say that, of course, this does come with the trade-off that if to claim the largest possible check, you must forego benefits in your 60s. And this, of course, is not feasible for everyone. So there are those options out there if it works best for you. If right now you decided to start collecting benefits, but you're seeing that your check is really not all that great and it's going to fall further and further behind as inflation continues to grow and you decide to just offset it, you do have those couple of different options out there for you. Definitely look into some type of financial advisor to see what might work best for you and your financial lifestyle if that is something that you are thinking about. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.